Hey guys, it's a little hot in the garage. It's actually 90, what is it? 90 degrees. And I say, well, I was trying to download some pictures from the phone. We went to, we were going to go camping and set up my trail cams. And then I communicate with a friend of mine that he's got a cabin up in the mountains. And I said, hey, I'm going to be in the area. Are you going to be there so I can swing by and say hi? You know, you're going to be there with your wife and stuff. And he says, no, you're not. They locked down the mountain. They shut down the mountain because of fires. And I said, I thought the fire, because I heard there was a fire, but it was further up. And he said, no, they shut down from one end, from the Kern River to the South Fork to the other side. So basically the whole mountain, the whole range, the South Range is closed. So we said, well, we can't go. So what we did instead is something we've been wanting to do, kind of a bucket thing kind of thing, is we never been to the La Brea tar pits. So we headed out there yesterday and took video and pictures, and there's a lot of weird, a lot of amazing things, including this huge boulder they brought in from a quarry. This thing is it's almost the size of a house. And I said, it's not the rock that is impressing me. I want to know the crane that lifted that rock, because it was huge. So I talked to one of the curators, and he says, oh, you can go. He told me the name, but it's something Lamar, something. He told me the name. He says, go online, go to Wikipedia, and they'll have the pictures, and they'll give you the story and the whole thing. And when they brought it in and they did this huge pit. That pit must be, I don't know, 100 yards, maybe more. And then they set the thing right on the edge of the two walls. So it's a huge monster rock. So we went there, we took videos and pictures, and I'm trying to download it. My phone is stuck and it's not giving me anything. So, all right. So I want to do something else. I'm going to see if I can open up this carburetor that I brought home. It's the one giving me all the trouble. And I want to see how dirty it is. And if it's worth doing it, rebuilding it again. Because this is a real marine carburetor. And by the way, bear with me because I've never done this. I'm just going to hit all the screws on the outer area. And I'm hoping that this is a one piece or two piece. Not two piece. Okay, so get the little screw out of there. And I'm just going to take them off by hand and place them here. And because the carburetor on the I did some research on the Eldebrock. It's a truck carburetor, which is the same. It's good because I have a truck engine in the boat. It's a 96 Chevy Vortex, the first Vortex they built. It's a pretty good engine, but it's not a marine carburetor, and there's some requirements by the Coast Guard, and the little pipey thing for the dripping down into the pump, and which it has never worked on this thing. This thing right here, that's supposed to be dripping back into the fuel pump. This carburetor has flooded up to here, bubbling up to there, and it's never gone out through here. So I said, what the hell? If it doesn't even work, why have it? But it's a marine carburetor, and so I haven't tested the engine yet with the carburetor. There's another detail that there's a guy that he's an expert on this carburetor, and he says that the car carburetor, being that you have a transmission on the vehicle, it's gonna pour in a certain amount of gas. But on a boat, once you put it in gear, that's only one gear. It's forward and then one gear backwards. So the marine carburetor is supposed to put down more fuel to maintain the load, maintain the speed on the boat. I'm gonna try with a carburetor. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm gonna take it up to speed no more than 20, because usually that's what I do. I don't want to blow the engine or anything. So if it maintains the speed, I'm happy with it and I'll keep it. But if it's gonna start bugging down because there's not enough fuel going into the engine and it's gonna start sputtering and stuff, then it has to be the marine carburetor. So I'm gonna have to rebuild it and put it back. So hopefully with the cleaning of the tank and the shortening of the pipe and the new filter and all that, maybe that'll solve the problem of the dirt, because it did have dirt. And I'm gonna see if I can get this thing open. I think I got all the screws. Let me look in here. Oh, there's some more, 2 screws here. Just bear with me. Like I said, I've never done this. It's always the first time. And I'm gonna try to see if I can solve the issue with this. Okay, there's nothing else in there, so now I have to pop it. There's the gasket. I'm gonna have to get a little hammer and tap it around, and then get a screwdriver. I don't have one here, a flat one. So let me go to my box and I'll be back. All right, see you later. Okay, we're back. So it turns out that there were 2 more screws down here in that little pocket there, and they're these, pretty short. So let me I already tapped it here with the screwdriver, and it's coming off the gasket, even though it's a little sticky. Okay, I gotta disconnect this little linkage, pull that off. The choke that never works. Okay, and yank it off. Let's see what else. Oh, we got another doohickey on this side. Let me see. Okay, that's the acceleration, and that's gonna be kind of a little difficult taking it out. Okay, I'm gonna have to go away again because I need 2 hands. All right, later. Papa's kicking back here with me a little bit. It's a nice breeze, and I'm gonna smoke me another cigar. I started taking apart the carburetor, but when I got to the linkage of the throttle, it has the little rod has the little pinch, so it locks in, and I can't find the position to take it off the little hole. It's there's a trick to it, so I gotta go back on the computer and I'm gonna learn how to take it apart, if I can find a video of somebody doing it. I'm gonna make myself some coffee. I hope that lady doesn't bring a dog. And I'm gonna smoke a, what is this? A Gloria de Cuba. And this cigar, I noticed that it's very hard. I put some more water in the humidor, and I soaked the sponge. Well, I got it. I finally got it lit with this wind. The lighter's kind of getting a little funky. It's not working all the time. Got a good aroma. I don't pay attention to the humidor that much. I just wet it when I take out a cigar, and it's getting drier. It's so hot that it's, even though we have a cool house, the air conditioning is taking the humidity out of the air, and that's what makes it hard. The air conditioning was invented by a doctor in Florida when he had a bunch of guys from workers from the Panama Canal. He had them in his hospital. I don't know if they were in Panama or in Florida, but he wanted to keep the sick men comfortable because Florida is very humid, very wet, very hot. And he came up with this machine that it would take the humidity out of the air, and the air will come out cold. So a doctor invented an air conditioner. Great invention. If it wasn't for that, half the country wouldn't be populated, because Arizona, forget about it. I call Arizona the frying pan. So I want to see if I can get that carburetor taken apart. I don't want to blow another 250, 200 everywhere you go, just to open it. You know, I'm gonna see if I can get that link out of there, but I gotta test the boat and see how that other carburetor is gonna work out. If it works out well, I can even do the adapter. I can do a little overspill tubing. All there is you drill a hole in the sidewall on top, right on the edge. You thread it and you put it in there and you connect the pipe. That's it. For a carburetor to get flooded up to that edge, that's never going to happen. It's gobs of gasoline, a lot of gasoline. That's never going to happen. That should be on the bottom somewhere, but it's not. So let's see what happens. I've been watching the Olympics, and we have it all recorded. Today is the last day, and they were doing the closing ceremonies, and a guy decided to start climbing the Eiffel Tower like a monkey, and he's going through all the beams and trusses and everything, climbing up. He got arrested. So at the beginning, we've been watching and deleting, So at the beginning, there was an Australian girl saying that she was dreading the Americans winning. I don't remember the event, what it was, if it was swimming or jumping or what, but she says, I just don't want to hear that USA, USA. She didn't want to hear that. And I say, you know what, girl, if you're looking at me, when the Chinese fleet is knocking at your door, sitting outside Sydney Harbor, you're the one that's going to be yelling USA, because you want their help. You want our help to get rid of the Chinese. So shut your mouth. The Chinese so far are even with the U.S. with the gold. So there was 40 and 40. As far as total quantities, U.S. is ahead. I haven't kept the latest count, but I was watching the different events, and I was interested in the archery. I saw the archery event with the Koreans and the Chinese, and the Koreans won, and very close, very close. But I noticed that the bows, the bows were Hoyt, and they used to be Jennings, I think. But anyways, I noticed that they pull back very easily. And I was telling my wife, I said, those bows are probably 35, 40 pounds. They were shooting at 72 yards, and they was shooting a huge arc to hit the target. And I'm going, yeah, there's not a lot of power in that bow. That's why they pull it back so easy, and they hold it, and yeah, and then let go. Because with a powerful recurve, you can only hold back maybe 2 seconds. I used to have one. I gave it away to a friend of mine. You pull back, and immediately you go and release. 2 seconds, no more than 3. With the recurve, you can hold back and hold it. Because once you're in the valley, you hold it there, and you pick and choose, when to release, because either the wind direction or whatever, or the animal's not in the right spot or the right angle, and you can wait. But with the recurve, you gotta pull and release. You don't have a lot of time to hold because you're pulling a lot of weight. And if it's a light weight, then you can hold it longer, obviously. So I was looking at the swimming, I was looking at the horse. That guy that got thrown off at the end, he did all the jumps correctly, and then at the end the horse spooked and he went one way, and then the rider went another and slammed the floor. And Jesus, animals. And every time I see the event and the jumping those hurdles, I remember Reeves. I think it was Steve Reeves, his name, the man that played Superman. What a shame. He was jumping with his horse. He went off the horse and hit his head or his neck. I don't remember where, but he became paralyzed, and that was sad, man. That was sad. Horses, they get spooked real easy. It could be a flash of light. It could have been the drone overhead. It could have been who knows what. But the thing is, you gotta be careful when you're riding a horse doing those jumps. If you just riding easy, which I've done it up in the mountains, and you're riding on a trail, and all you have to look out for is something like maybe a snake spooking the horse. It doesn't happen all the time. If you're just riding easy, then it's a little safer. When you start galloping and making jumps, that's when it gets dangerous. I made a video with a VCR camera, the big ones, the one that takes a shoulder. A friend of mine let me borrow it, and I went up to the mountains with this girl I was dating, and we rented some horses. And the guy said, yeah, we're gonna go up to the high lakes up in around Mammoth up there. And I said, okay. So we were there in the morning. We got our horses. She got a really nice pinto, and I drove that horse. I had a beige, what do they call it? Palomino. I think it was a Palomino. That we were going for the first time of the season. We're going up this trail that it wasn't clean yet because the snow moves rocks and branches around. There was some debris in the trail, and we're going up and up and zigzag. And then at one point we went through this this area that there were still snow patches, and the snow was melting, and it had all these rocks that they were wet. And I video. I'm with the camera and I'm riding the horse with the left, I'm riding the horse with the left, and then the horse just raised his leg up and I'm trying to control this horse, and he's slipping on these rocks, and I'm going, Jesus. So if you see the video, you're gonna see a bunch of trees, trees, because, and I didn't drop the camera. Oh, Papa, good boy. That was a nice ride. When we got to the top, those glacier lakes, I don't think there was any fish up there, but they were coral blue. If you never done anything like that, I recommend it. You go up to the Eastern Sierras, and you find, let me see, where was that? That was going up. Gee, I've been to so many places, it's hard to remember everything, but there's another Wrangler in Lone Pine or Big Pine, one of those. And they take you in, and they go on trails, and I think you can camp up there, take your camping gear, and you can stay overnight. And I don't know what it costs now, but when I took this girl, it was cheap. I think it was $75 a piece. to do the ride for one day and go fishing up there. It was nice. So we did that, and I got that on video. I gotta find that video. I gotta convert the video from VHS to your Papa, so I can take it and play it in anybody's computer. And I got a lot of videos like that. Me flying, went to Costa Rica, we went to Loreto fishing. I did some flying there too. I got a lot of videos that I have to, and I bought this program to convert it, and it's not working for me. I don't think my computer has enough room to maneuver that program and collect all the videos and convert them into DVDs or something, So I gotta work on that still. I think I'm gonna have to take the computer and get a bigger hard drive, because right now what I got is small. It's 99 or 100, something like that, and it's almost full. I gotta get a 500 or something. So there goes a Piper. So yeah, the Olympics. I haven't seen the Olympics in years, and we decided to watch it. So every night we see 2, maybe 3. It's an hour a piece. We see 1 or 2, and we see the different events. There's some events that I don't care for. I'm not really into basketball, so we didn't watch any of that. We just deleted. I'm more into the traditional, the javelin throwing, the big ball. I don't know if that thing is a rock or whatever. I think it's a rock. Throwing that rock and throwing the disc, but then you look at the events that been adding to it, like break dancing. Are you serious? Break dancing. So the people it's ridiculous. And there was a woman from Australia that she had a degree on breakdancing, and she's in her 30s, and nobody liked her. She did some, spinning around the floor. That's for kids, and that's from the 80s. That's what that was in the 80s. So they have that, and what other new? Roller skating. People used to do it in an empty pool or something, but that's also an event. But that event, you need to have your balance, boy. And those little girls, there's a 14-year-old girl, she won gold, and I was happy for her. So that's a new event, and I don't know what else. I mean, I have an idea. It just pumped in my head. If you want to have another event, why don't you do spittoon speeding? Ding, and see who hits it. I'll bet you all the guys from the South and the Cowboys would win gold. There's an event for you. Spitting, frog jumping, pig wrestling, that kind of stuff. Break dancing. Give me a break. Like the Russians, they wanted to have that what do they call it? It's like a lady, very, very slim lady, like a ballerina. She's dancing around with a long baton and a little ribbon on it, and she's doing twirls, and well, they looked at it, and the Olympic Committee said, nah, that's not nothing to it. There's nothing there. So they said, no, we're not gonna do that. And the Russians didn't like it because they had a few ladies that they were pretty good at it. So there's some events that they're good, and some events are ridiculous. Some sports are not sports. They're just a fad. Why don't they do, you're doing breakdancing, why don't you do salsa dancing? I'm pretty sure there's some good people out there. I used to be one of them. Well, not that good, but I used to dance. And you do, different dances from different countries. If you look at the Arabian countries, these not the Arabians, the Middle Eastern countries, they have a dance called Quebec, I think it is. What is it? Quebec? Something like that. And every tribe, because like Winston Churchill said, the Middle Easterns are tribal people in first, and countrymen have a second. Meaning that they belong to a certain tribe. They might be Arabian or they might be Pakistani or whatever, but they're from this tribe and that's what they are. And then they are from the country as a second choice. They have some interesting dances. And you know who dances real crazy and real good, I consider it? The Palestinians. The Palestinians do this reverse kick. You're gonna check it out. They kick up and front, and even the heavy guys, they're jumping and kicking and twirling their what are they twirling? A flag or a handkerchief or something, and to keep the rhythm with the music. And then I looked at the Lebanese and the Arabians and everybody, and then you look at the then you look at the Jews. The Jews dance funny. The Jews, they have these people with a flat hat and the little curls that I don't know what the hell's wrong with why they're wearing those things. But anyways, you see them dance and they're so awkward. And that's their dance. They consider that to be their dance. But the other Middle Eastern countries, they have some cool dances. Now the thing that's kind of weird and awkward to me is that the women are dancing over there, the men are dancing over here. So how do you hook up? You know, you see a cute lady across the way. Well, how do you approach her? You can't say, hey, do you wanna do some becking with me or dancing with me, whatever you call the dance. But they should do an event on that. Every country, the Olympics are representing the countries, and for instance, I'm not suggesting to make the dance into a sport event. Make it as a final celebration at the end for each country to do their dance. That would be awesome. Can you imagine the Brazilians? Those girls with the feathers and the thongs and the high heels. I like to see that. What do you think, guys? I know women are going to say, nah. Guys are going to say, yeah. That could be the closing ceremony for everybody. Everybody does their traditional dance from their country. Hawaii, hey, those hula girls, you know, they can move. The belly dancers from the Middle East, the like I said, the Brazilians. But imagine having all these countries with the big groups of people just going for it. You know, that would be some colorful things to see and to watch. So yeah, we're ahead. The Cuban wrestler, a big guy, he was 42. He won against, I think it was a Brazilian. And then he celebrated the victory, and then he took off his shoes, put them in the center of the ring, telling people that he's retired. He's 42. Yeah, that's a good age to retire. And he came out winning. So I haven't seen them all. I haven't seen them all. The women's race, all these girls from different African countries. And I tell my wife, watch the girls with the long legs. They're the ones that are going to be the fastest. Well, tell you what, there was a race. There was this girl from England, little short little thing. Man, she was a bullet. She went and passed everybody. I'm going, whoa, she was fast. But usually the girls or the guys with the longer legs, they got a longer stride and they can run. They can cover more ground. than the person with the short legs. But as far as that girl, that was impressive. I was wrong about that one. I want to see more archery. And the shooting, they were doing pistol shooting. I didn't see any rifles. So I haven't gone through all of them. Like, we got like, what, 25 or 30 that recorded. We got to go through all of them. And they will see at the end. I saw a short video that there was a guy said that they did some, the ending ceremonies, the closing ceremonies, they did some sort of a demonic dance or something. The same thing they did here in England. I think they did one too. What's going on with that? They're doing demonic, death angels and giant bulls and weird stuff. Where they come up with this, But they shouldn't be putting that out in the open like that. So, well, we'll see what's in the future. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the boat and get it running and see if the mechanic wants to go with me so I can try the carburetor at different speeds and see if it performs. If it performs, it's going to stay right there. And then I'll see about this carburetor, what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to sell it or something. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.